Good morning. It is 6:38 a.m. on Monday, October 15th, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Had kind of a weird day yesterday. Um, just kind of a weird headspace day. Part of what happened is that a combination of factors had me thinking a lot about Luna yesterday. There's just a couple of reasons for that. One is that I just happened across a newspaper editorial column that was about the author having to say goodbye to their own dog. And then, separate from that, but related in my brain, is that I was messing around with the photo settings for my various devices, trying to make sure they're all syncing properly. I'm having trouble with that for some reason. But spending a lot of time looking at my photo library meant lots of pictures of Luna. And, it's just still sad about that. I've found, at least so far, I need to turn that back off. Set my screen to have a screensaver, and it went faster than I anticipated. Where I was going with that before that was just that, at least in my initial forays, inquiring about getting another corgi puppy, so far it is not proven easy to do. I mean, part of, I haven't looked as hard as I probably could, partly just because, it's always easier to not do something than to do it, right? I mean, in terms of anything that requires effort, even something that you want, so, I sent out some initial forays, and those weren't, there's no puppies available for those. And so then kind of just like, well, I need to expand the search. And I've been doing that a little bit at a time, but so far haven't really had any luck. And so I think those things, contributed one piece of what was going on. But then I don't think that was really all of it, but just a big part of yesterday, I felt just a little bit. I mean, because the thing is, it wasn't all bad. I mean, it felt a little bit just unmoored a bit, like I felt a little bit like I could have gone into some sort of like depression or panic attack or anything like it. That felt sort of incipient, and yet it didn't actually happen. Like, it felt, boy, that's annoying. My screensaver again. I need to turn that off right now. I'm going to do that literally while I'm talking to you here. Because I haven't had a screensaver set for a long time. And then I turned it on last night for my own purposes, and boy, yeah, okay, done with that. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so I guess what I was just coming around to is that I recognized sort of those oncoming feelings and kind of engaged in some self-care about it, like taking care of myself. And I went for a walk, I made a healthy meal, I played a non-stressful video game. And I don't know, I mean, I feel like that staved off the worst of what it felt, to use an analogy that is maybe a little insensitive because, of course, hurricanes actually do hurt people. But I saw an article just, scrolling the headlines on getting up this morning. It was talking about one particular town in Florida that was very heavily damaged, but they were talking about how one of the most recently built houses there that had all of these sort of precautions built onto it. It was on these big poles, so it was elevated, had lots of, different construction techniques designed to help it resist the storm. And then you look at the picture, and it is one of the only buildings in this big region that looks more or less undamaged, whereas things are just devastation all around it. And I guess that's the metaphor that I'm kind of thinking of, just in the sense that it felt like the emotional storm that passed yesterday could have been worse, but I had coping mechanisms that helped me get through it pretty much unscathed, or at least that's how it feels now. Because I'm not feeling really like depressed or anything, but had just a bit of a day yesterday where I sort of, I had a storm passing and I needed to hunker down a little bit. Anyway, I will go ahead and leave it there for now, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes. Reminder, I have this Extra Life campaign that I am going to be doing on the November 3rd and 4th, and it is to benefit children's hospitals. And I'm going to be running a bunch of D&D on that weekend. It's like running a 5K for charity, except it's D&D instead, and it's for children's hospitals. So please check out the link that's going to be below. I think I promised to put it in there and then didn't yesterday, but do check it out and go and pledge, because it's for a good cause, and I would really appreciate it. So thank you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.